Alrighty, and now we continue our section on file sharing with the 70-740 Microsoft Windows Server certification. In the last video, we talked about simple sharing and advanced sharing and how it was very easy to simply share out a file or a folder from one computer to another, and how we were able to change the share and change some of the permissions on it. In this video, we're going to talk about file and storage services, a feature that comes with Microsoft Windows that gives us some additional storage capabilities that we don't have from our simple or advanced sharing options. So if we go to our Windows server, first off, I went ahead and added a role. If we look at the Add Roles Features wizard, we could see here under server roles, under file and storage services, I have gone ahead and I have installed the File Server Resource Manager. Gone ahead and pre-installed that so that we can work with it in this video. And what that does is here in Server Manager, on the left-hand side, under File and Storage Services, when we click on that, it gives us some additional options that we didn't have before. For instance, we now have a shares option here. And when I click on that, it shows me the shares that are currently on the computer. And we could see the shares that we had just worked with. Here highlighted, we have our games share that we just created with the advanced sharing and its local path. We then have Share 1 and Share 2, both of which are pointing to the same local path that we had just created as well. So through here, I can also create additional shares. So I have up here at the tasks bar, I can create new share, or I can simply right click in the background here and say new share. Now in here I have a couple of options. I can do an SMB share quick, which is almost exactly the same as what we did just a few minutes ago. Let's go ahead and walk through that. I want it on the C drive, on my server, and I want to call this Share 3. And we can see it creates a local path, C shares Share 3. So it creates a shares folder for all of my shares to go into. And then it creates a remote path for me to see. Gives me a few options: access-based enumeration, caching, encryption, permissions. I can go ahead and specify the custom permissions here, and then create the share. And we see there it is. I can also go ahead and do that again with the advanced sharing. This is mostly the same, except it gives some additional options such as access denied assistance. Default classification of data, so I can identify data as being PII or HIPAA or some other classification. And I can also enable quotas for end users. So again, I'll walk through this. Share 4. Again, access-based enumeration, caching, data encryption, permissions, folder usage, quotas, so I can go ahead and apply quotas to different users, and then go ahead and create the share. I can also create what's called an SMB share for applications. Now, an SMB share for applications is something a little new to Windows Server, and this creates a share that allows multiple users to access the same files at the same time. You can see here through the description, it creates an SMB share appropriate for Hyper-V, certain databases, and other server applications. So it allows the system to be able to be accessed by multiple end users at the same time, which certain databases and Hyper-V and some server applications require. Now, the setup process at this point is pretty much the same as what we've seen in the others. Set your permissions and create it. And then lastly, under tasks, new share, and I don't believe this will work. we can create what's called an NFS share. If you have Linux machines in your environment, you can create a share that is accessible via Network File Services, or NFS. Unix and Linux based machines. So I can create a quick or advanced share for NFS. This feature is not currently available on this system simply because I haven't installed the NFS services. If I wanted to do that, I would simply go back into Server Manager, add roles and features, and under the File Server, File and Storage Services roles, choose Server for NFS. Then we go back to File and Storage Services, and I believe I need to refresh my system here, my Server Manager console. Let's go ahead and create shares. And we'll choose NFS. Very quickly, you can see the difference here between what was previously for the remote path. You can see now it's server name :/share name. Identify some authentication. And so on.